Hello guys, this is Kudo, and today in this video I will show you how you can make how to scroll to a specific element in the ScrollRect. So let's get into it. So last time we see each other, I let you with this scroll view rect transform dynamically. So basically each time I will add a new button, the content will be resizing automatically. So right now the content was 2160, and if I add new button, as you can see, the height of my content was upgrading. So right now what I'm going to show you is when I will click on some button, maybe this one, or maybe this one. So let me show you. The purpose is when I will click on this button, the scroll view should be reaching the button and center it. So what I need to do, first thing first, we need to go on the script folder and let's create a C# folder, a C# script. So let's name it ScrollRect handler, and let's open it in Visual Studio. So as soon you open it in Visual Studio, what we need to add, so using unityengine.ui, so unityengine.ui to be able to import some variable from the scroll bar and the ScrollRect. So the first variable we need, so let's serialize this field because we need to drag and drop it. So serialize field, and let's call it private. So we need the rect transform, so rect transform of our content panel like this. All right. What we need to do, we need to have another serialize field, and this serialize field will be a private. So we need to access to the scroll bar of a vertical scroll bar. Okay, so basically this is all the two variable we need to drag and drop it. So we need to have more some float variable. So let's create a private float, and this private float will be the basic size scroll bar vertical. So basically the size of our scroll bar. We need to have a private float of our size content. So I will add inside scroll view. So let me show you what it is. So basically this size content inside the scroll view, it's basically the size of this, so what we can see basically. So we need that. What we need to add more, because we want to center everything, so we need a private float and calculate the middle default value of our size content. And last thing we need to do, need to add private. So it's not a must-have, but you can add it and you can use it after. So it will be the current pose Y content panel like this. And maybe for later I will add private bool is already in it, and I will initialize it to false like this. All right, so we can save this and we can head back to Unity. So what we can do on the scroll view, we can add our script. So let's add the ScrollRect handler, and let's drag and drop the content panel. So the content panel will be that, like this. And thus we need to add the scroll vertical bar like this. So let's save this. And when we finish to drag and drop everything, let's head back to Visual Studio. So right now we'll create some new functions. So let's create a private void init. So this function will basically initialize our variable. So in the init function, I will need to initialize the basic scroll vertical. So the basic scroll vertical bar will be equal to our vertical scroll bar dot size. Okay. After that, we need the size content. We need to add the size content. So basically, the size content will be equal to the basic scroll vertical bar multiplied by the content panel dot rect high, because again we were working on vertical way. Okay, and last one we need to initialize will be the middle. So middle default value, it will be basically equal to the size of the inside scroll view, and I think you guessed it, divide by 2.0f. Okay, so as soon as we'll just initialize our variable, we need to call this one in the start function. So let's copy paste this, and what I will do, because sometime the content size filter will not reacting that fast, I will override the start function. So I will make a private enumerator, so enumerator start function. And what I want to do, I want to add, so yield return, okay, new wait for until, and I want to wait until the height of my content panel is upper, so like this. So the size of the content panel like that dot rect high is initialized, so at least longer than 0. And to make sure everything is working and the content size filter is calculating well, I will add another yield return new wait for end of frame. So after wait this moment, I will initialize my my variable, and we can call is already in it to true. So let's call this one to true. And what we need to have, so for this purpose of this exercise, like this, I need to create another function, and this function basically will calculate the where the scroll bar should scroll. So let's create this function. So let's call it private void, and let's name it calcul pose y content. Okay, and it will take in parameter the float position y of the element we want to scroll, element scroll view. Okay, so inside this function, what I need to create, so let's create a float, and this float will be the absolute value, so absolute value of the position of the y element in my list, element scroll view. Okay, and this will be equal to matf, so because I use absolute value, so matf abs of basically the position y element scroll view. Okay, so after that I will use basic division, and I will need to have the remain and the quotient. So I will create a int quotient, so quotient. Okay, and this quotient will be equal to my apps value divided by the size of the content size scroll view. But because it's an int in the quotient, I need to pass it. So let's put int here, and again do not forget the parentheses like this. Okay, we can save this. After that, as I told you in the quotient, I need the remain. So the remain can be a float, so float remain like this. And the float remain will be equal, basically, the module of our apps, so absolute position element, module of the size content inside scroll view. Okay, and right now, because we need to move the current position of our content panel, so what I will do, current position Y content panel will be equal. So I will just do a simple multiplication. So cushion multiply by the size of the inside scroll view plus the remain minus the minus the middle default value, and this will allow me, so middle default value, and this will allow me to have the position I need for my panel. So last thing we need to do, so basically I just need to say content panel, so content panel dot anchor position, so anchor position will be equal to my new vector2 of content panel, so content panel dot anchor position dot x, because we don't need to move the x panel, the x axis, but we need to move the y axis, and I think you guessed it, I need to add the current position. So basically we can save this, and right now let's create let's call this one maybe in the start function, and let's say maybe 1000, put in parameter, I want 1000. Let's save everything, and what we need to do, we just head back. We don't need the update function, so we can erase it. We can save everything, and we can head back to Unity and test everything. So to make sure everything is working fine, I will put the value of my button. Right now, as you can see, the button is 1080. So I will put inside minus 1080 to simulate the way I will push on this button. I will click on this button. All right. So basically, right now the scroll bar is here. And basically, if I'm right, the scroll bar should scroll directly to this button and center this button. So to make sure everything is working, let's change the color of this button in red. And let's save this and let's hit play and let's see the magic happen. So there it is, guys. So as you can see, the scroll bar just scrolls directly to this button. So in the next video, I will show you how you can generalize this thing when I will click on this element and it will move directly to the position we want. And I will show you how you can fix some little bug about the content size filter. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye! Thanks for watching. So if content equal to like, or user learned something equal to true, user should thumb up plus subscribe. Else, user should dislike but help me to improve. Thank you, and I catch you guys next time.